Currency.
Like a couple Bitcoins. Pull up on my Nakamoto.
Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, June 4th, 2016, and this is the Blockchain Dynamics Show. I believe we are on episode number 15.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon.
What up? My name is Brandon Doge. I'm here with Jukely, of course. And obviously, another exciting week in crypto. Bitcoin just kind of continues to steamroll upwards.
It's great. This is the largest uptrend basically in our humble crypto history.
Yep.
Brandon and I's.
Yeah, definitely the biggest pump of Bitcoin since we've been in the game. So
there were some ones that were close, I guess, but
yeah,
this is at least getting close to being a huge pump.
Yep.
Or a huge upwards gain in a short period of time, right?
But anyway, we're here to talk mostly about altcoins. We do like to talk about Bitcoin a little bit, but usually just kind of in terms of how it's going to be affecting altcoins. And we have a special segment this week, interview.
Yes, indeed. We're lucky enough to talk to somebody from the Fermat project, Luis Molina, who is the founder of that. And we spoke with him on Monday, and we're going to play the interview pretty soon here.
Yep, it's a really interesting project. He just posted it to Bitcointalk last week, but it sounds like he's been working on it for a while. It's kind of funny. He got a really poor reception on Bitcointalk. I think everybody thought it was an ICO, but it's actually just it's just pretty much a straight proof of work project. And so I'm really excited, honestly, to see where they go with it.
Yeah, should we just go straight into that interview, or?
Yeah, let's just play it.
All right, coming up, here it goes. I'm Jukely here with Brandon.
Yep, we're here with Luis Molina of Fermat.
Yeah. Hi, Luis.
Hi, how are you? Hello to everyone.
We're doing great. Thanks so much for being here with us today.
No,
Yeah,
thank you for inviting me.
We're really stoked to have Luis here. Fermat is looking to be like a really exciting project, so we're really happy to be able to talk to the developer.
Luis, could you introduce yourself and just let us know who you are?
Okay, my name is Luis Molina. I am original from Argentina, now living in Budapest, Hungary. And I come from the traditional banking industry. Like 20 years ago, I started my career building banking systems, designing the system especially, and I spent almost 10 years doing that. Then I found myself as an entrepreneur running my own businesses and start switching to other ventures. And like 5 years ago, I found myself in Dubai with some startup doing computational design, creating geometric patterns that is very popular there on the Arabic culture. And it was in Dubai that I learned about Bitcoin, and I switched to this industry.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Cool.
That sounds really interesting, all of that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any questions related to that, Brandon?
Nope. I mean, that's pretty cool. I know a lot of people who actually do a lot of like banking type IT stuff, so it's interesting to see the crossover there, I guess, in the crypto community.
Yeah, definitely. And Luis, could you just give us maybe a general overview of the Fermat project?
Okay, the Fermat project is a project that evolved through like almost a year. The idea at the beginning, my idea was to make an exchange, then to introduce banks to the crypto world. I'm talking 2 years ago, or almost 3 years ago. But then I realized that, everybody here is willing to take Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to the masses, no? So I put myself as a goal, how could I help on that, no? So connecting banks to the crypto world is fine, but really the challenge, or the biggest challenge, is to take this to the masses. So after the ideas stop evolving, what we finally get is a kind of a plan to get there. We want really cryptocurrencies in general, Bitcoin or any other, to be on the hands of everyone. Okay, that's our main goal, and that's the future we want to get. We want people to be able to choose to use either cryptocurrency or also fiat currency, and we are mounted, let's say, on this mega trend of mobile development. Mobile is something that we expect to have 6 billion people in the next 5 years, and it's also not going to replace the web space, but it's also getting stronger and stronger. No, so we imagine in the future people having their mobile phones mostly, and what we want is to get this cryptocurrency there. So our plan ends there, but the tricky part is how to get there. So after analyzing many possibilities and possible killer applications, we found out that the best thing that we can do to help is, instead of creating one specific use case, is the plan goes through developing a framework for creating mobile applications that are blockchain ready. No? So in that way, if we facilitate the mobile developers in the world and give enough tools, probably they can switch between whatever they are using or regular mobile application, and they can switch to the Fermat framework. And if we give enough infrastructure, then they can build applications faster. And also, these applications could be blockchain ready, and we get to our goal. But it's not easy to, it might be easy to, or not so easy to convince developers to do that if you give enough infrastructure. But you also need people a good incentive to use these applications. Okay, so we continue moving forward our vision, and we said this. If we connect mobile phones to each other through a peer-to-peer network, then we can create a new space. The web was invented 20, 30 years ago and created a huge space for economic activity that everybody knows the web now, okay? Yeah. Then after a decade, the mobile appeared, okay? And it created a new space. And the mobile universe is somehow connected to the web in one direction, because mobile applications consume the web. But when you connect applications or phones between each other through a public open source peer-to-peer network, then what you're doing really is, in fact, is creating a new space, because there is such a big space that any business model run on regular mobile space, on the web space, can be ported to this new universe. And the properties of the applications that are ported are very interesting also for the consumer. If the applications are kind of social applications like chat or social networks, then the incentive, maybe not so strong, is that having peer-to-peer application is far more secure, because information is always on your phone. For example, an online dating application that you are accessing information from somebody else's phone and not going through the web is much more secure than information of this online dating application that is stored on the cloud. We already know about hacks, things like that, which a lot of people got compromised and get into divorces or things like that. So, but on the other hand, when these applications are business application and money is involved, then the incentive is an economic incentive, because usually when you give people the opportunity to do pure peer-to-peer transactions, you are disintermediating some company, and usually the transactions are cheaper. So in this new space that we are creating, you can have almost anything, like social application, but also sharing economy application, for example, Uber, Airbnb, or anything like that, ported to this peer-to-peer mobile space. And as there is no Uber company or Airbnb, then transactions are cheaper, and you are with a real economic incentive for people to be leaking from one space to the other. Okay, so if you follow all the plan and you incentivize developers by creating a lot of infrastructure in order for them to build applications faster and cheaper, then it makes sense to do it. At the same time, you're providing a new space for them to build if they want. That is this peer-to-peer space between mobile applications that produce an incentive for end users, and everything start fitting together. And that is more or less an overview of what we are doing and why we are doing this.
All right, man. It sounds really cool. Essentially, it's kind of, I'm trying to think of it. It's almost like a series of libraries that people create for developing these web apps?
It's more than that. We move forward towards several lines that were like arbitrary stuff defined previously in the last 10 years. For example, Steve Jobs, with his application model, defines that a mobile application is the smallest piece of ownership you can have of software on a mobile phone. Okay. And well, then Google and Android do just copy the model, okay? But that's not really true. You can do something smarter, because if you analyze the 2 million application on the Play Store, you will find a huge amount of code that is repeated, okay? Because think about it, how many applications use some kind of chat functionality? That functionality has been written over and over across thousands of applications, and it's a waste of time. Even it's a waste of time at a humanity level. We're wasting our time here. So why don't we go and lower and put that into another scale, and let's say that we can build application out of smaller components. So these smaller components don't need to be repeated. So that's smarter, because there is no waste of time, because you can reuse something that is already built. So what Fermat proposes is, let's create mobile applications that for the end user looks exactly the same that regular mobile application, but they are built out of reusable components. But let's also move the level of ownership from the application level to the component level, and handle the ownership on the blockchain, so that you can be the owner of a component, but you can transfer the ownership to somebody else, and whoever is the owner, let's give him an economic incentive again. Let's give him like a stream of micropayments, monthly micropayment, like in the order of 1,000 piece of a dollar, for whatever component you build into this platform. So when you start putting all these pieces together, it's very difficult to assemble all this, but then it makes a lot of sense, because you are on one side allowing a framework for creating mobile application, but it's a special kind of framework, because you can own pieces of that. You own pieces of whatever applications are built on top of that, and in a way that, for example, let's say you create one chat application and it's made out of 20 components. They being the user interface, one of these components. So if you build one of the components there, and this chat application gets, I don't know, 1 million user base, 1 million users of user base, then you get 1 million pennies, let's say, a month for that, okay? But let's say that somebody else say, okay, I want to create a Bitcoin wallet, okay, that is also have chat functionality. So Fermat allows you, whoever third party wants to create a Bitcoin wallet, create this Bitcoin wallet, again, 10 or 20 components, and he can combine the functionality he's creating with the application of the chat application, because the framework, every application that is built on here on Fermat adds more component to the pool of components. So anybody coming later can reuse your components. So let's say you are getting the micropayment from 1 million users, but the Bitcoin wallet gets hugely popular and has 100 million users. You are also getting micropayment from the second user base. And that is really very powerful, and it's also solving one problem that this mega trend of open source software is having to get to the higher level. That open source is growing year by year since a couple of decades, but still there is a problem that has no solution so far. That is exactly that. If I build open source software and it's successful at a certain extent, but you come and fork my software and you change something that I didn't see, and you get a millionaire, billionaire with that, then it's kind of unfair, because I'm getting nothing and you use my stuff, So Fermat somehow solved that problem, because if you're forking or somehow reusing the components that I put into the framework, everything is automated, and I'm still going to get micropayment from the user base of what you are doing and make a success.
Awesome.
So was the project just you when it started, and have you found people along the way that can help you bring it into a reality yet?
Yes, I started the project like 2 years ago, and first I grabbed some people from the financial industry. That is where I knew the most intelligent people. So in software, and they helped me get to the architecture and the vision of the project. Then I organized a Java competition after finding some funding. Uh, I organized a Java competition across Latin America because I come from there and I can understand that culture very well to work remotely. So I make this competition, and from 150 people that sign up, I choose 6 people to come here to Europe and to build the core of the system last summer. From there, we start paying ourselves in bounties in our own token system that we didn't have blockchain or anything, but still we know that this token system is a very powerful tool for bootstrapping this kind of project. So we consider that our protocol is started since the beginning, and all the tokens are going to a foundation, and the foundation is paying bounties to people so people like the idea and start working for the bounty. So more people start joining the project. Even if we were under the radar, Latin America, the voice spread a little bit. So by December last year, we were around between 30 and 50 people working on this. Not all developers, but also a lot of designers and testers and people that like the project wanted to help. So by December last year, we went to the Latin American Bitcoin conference, and for the first time, we showed what we were doing there last December, and from there it started going global. No, not with a lot of strong force, because it was not on the press, just people talking about it, word of mouth, let's say, and people start joining from Australia, the US, and whatever. And a couple of probably a month ago, we finally went to the press and announced that our white paper was there to be read, and whoever wants to join is invited. That's the story.
It's really interesting to hear kind of how well these projects can develop under what could be the traditional radar of crypto, and it sounds like you guys have already gotten a lot of work done. So.
Indeed. The project, because of the nature of the project, the project is a framework for creating application, but at the same time is different from some other mobile frameworks that you might know, because the other frameworks, you use the framework to create one application and that's it. But in this framework, it's like a framework that is eating each application that is created, because it incorporated as part of the framework itself, So the more things that you create, the more things are getting into the framework. So right now, if you see the project on GitHub and you go there, you will see that in terms of contribution is quite high, and it's ranking also not at the cryptocurrency industry level, but all open source projects in general, probably in the top 20.
Well, yeah, I saw that on your Bitcointalk post. I thought that was really surprising.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what state do you expect the software to be at during a launch, or is it essentially people can consider it launched and they just have to start participating?
And one of the things I thought was interesting about this is how cross-platform you want it to be. So we're curious, like on launch, to what extent it's going to be. Will it be mostly just like a PC wallet at that point, or will it be available like on mobile and stuff right away?
No, the most efficient way to do this is to focus on one platform first, because if not, you're going to get crazy managing all several platforms at the same time. But we organize the code base very, very well, so that most of the code written is in Java and is portable to other operating systems. And the lowest layer of all, the one down there, that is interfacing the operating system, is the one that is dependent of the operating system. So when we have to change to other operating system, we just change the lower layer, that is that interface, and it's almost there. Also, the uppermost layer, the one that is creating the user interface, is also dependent on the operating system, so as to be native for each operating system. So whenever we want to port, we just have to replace the bottommost layer and the topmost layer. But at lunchtime, we are going to be only Android. That is the one that has the biggest market share. And regarding where we are, well, we focus and we spend most of the time creating. We know that we live somehow on the blockchain space, but we are also not so close to blockchain technology. It's important for us because it handles our token systems that are needed in order to pay components owners these micropayments, and also to pay home for to pay the Fermat nodes. Like we create a concept of home node where your device checks your identities in order to be searchable and findable in the network. So there is also a microeconomy between your device and the home nodes. But most of our work is focused on a framework for developing mobile application. And we spent almost a year by now trying to prove that this was possible to be built, because the system is very large and complex, and nobody was really sure that this can be done on a smartphone. And probably it wasn't possible like 2 or 3 years ago, because we are on this trend that the mobiles are getting stronger and stronger. So right now what we have is our version 1 of the peer-to-peer network. Is there. It's not perfect, but it's there. We have version 1 of the framework that is working, and we have several applications that we build mostly as a proof of concept, and to see if the architecture that we define can support such a variety of different type of use cases, from a Bitcoin wallet created out of reusable component to a peer-to-peer chat application model on WhatsApp. You will see it's exactly WhatsApp with less functionality by now, to a digital asset platform, a platform for crypto brokers, like a local Bitcoin but peer-to-peer, and several other stuff that we are building at the same time in order to see if everything can fit in the same architecture. So some of these applications, like the Bitcoin wallet and chat and some other, are almost ready. They are on testing, and some of them are already certified that they are almost done. But the base of the system itself is still lacking some important pieces. And one of the pieces that is lacking is exactly the one related to the blockchain. At the beginning, we had some plans of how to implement this, and then when time passes from last year to this year, this industry is moving so fast that what we thought we were going to do then was not what we thought now that we are going to do. And probably if we talk next year, it should be something else. So we are trying to abstract the blockchain layer as much as possible, and to use something that is proven and working by now. And we are aware that a lot of new technologies are popping up. But anyway, most of them are not really tested under real life and holding real value. And probably the best choice to go is, the Bitcoin code base itself. So that's how we are going to go at the beginning, while we are still bootstrapping our own network. We are going to reuse the Bitcoin code base, but with the mind open to probably switch to something else once other technologies mature a little bit more. And for us, it's going to be like a database migration from one thing to the other. Yeah.
So on that note, as miners, we're kind of interested. Will this then just be like a SHA mineable token to some extent?
In the first stage, I don't know how long it's going to last, the first stage, but since we have no user up to a certain size, we will try to use exactly the Bitcoin code base untouched. So that answers all your question, because it's the way for us to assure that we are going to inherit all the security and all the stuff that Bitcoin have, and we can scale up to the point Bitcoin is right now without without having to rush to change or to switch to another stuff. So at the beginning, it's going to be like that. Plus the fact that there is going to be also a microeconomy where your identities are paying your home node in order to allow you to go through it to call other mobile applications, for example. And it's also going to have this microeconomy where you are paying these pennies to component authors. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, is there a particular time frame for the token mining to begin?
We are doing our best to have that working in around 3 to 5 months.
Okay.
Cool.
As I told you, we were working on the application framework, and we leave this for the last part. But we understand that most people on the blockchain and Bitcoin industry love this stuff, and they want to join mostly when there is these tokens involved. So we are working on that.
Well, yeah, and it's, I mean, I think you do yourself a big favor by actually having all this stuff already completed before you release the blockchain, because, you know, there's so many blockchains that just show up with nothing, so you kind of really can set yourself apart that way. So I think it's a really smart choice.
Well, yes. Basically, when I learned about the industry like 3 years ago, I understand very quickly that there was a lot of noise here. A lot of people saying I'm going to do this or that, but it was difficult to distinguish what is noise and what is something for real. So what I say is, okay, I'm going to go and build it, and once I'm ready, I'm going to go and say, okay, here it is, you know. And this is more or less what it happens, basically.
Okay. So how can people stay up to date with the project?
We have in our website, we are opening a new section. It's a menu on the right. It reads open projects. So all the projects that are running right now, like the peer-to-peer network, the digital asset platform, there are many, like 10 or 12 or something like that. We are creating a special page or one page under that menu for each project, so that anybody can go and to this page and see which is the team of that project, and also which is the documentation of that project. Also, we often record the hangouts so that other people can catch up just by watching the video. So we are trying to get that level of organization in order for people to easily know which is the status of each of the project, and if they want, they can also go and join. And you don't need to be a developer to join. You can be an end user, analyst, designer, or whatever.
Great.
Yeah, that sounds really awesome, man. And I think that's going to do it for our interview with Luis Molina. That was really awesome, man. That was really really informative, I think.
Thank you.
And the site is fermat.org.
Yeah, definitely check it out. They've got a really cool front page there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again for talking to us.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
And that was our interview there with Luis Molina of Fermat. Definitely go to the website, fermat.org, and check out the white paper. I thought it was really interesting, so it was definitely great to hear from him. And we're going to go now straight into the new announcements this week.
Yes, indeed.
So it seems like there's just a huge rush of announcements this week. This list is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
it's also kind of funny because there was a bunch of coins like released within this time period on other years, but we don't have any birthdays. So
yeah, that is weird. It's maybe Altcoin calendar was down this time last year or something. I don't know.
No, I mean there are releases.
Oh, really?
It's just that none of them are live.
Oh, they've all gone under. Okay, that's funny. Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, here are the coins this week. The first one is Vapers. We can't tell if this is even supposed to appeal to like the vaping thing.
I think it is. I found a little bit of some smoke cloud or some vape cloud in there.
In the graphics or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's this is going to be an old story this week, but it's huge pre-mine essentially.
Yep.
Huge coin supply, huge pre-mine, script, pow. And honestly, I don't think there's all that much more to say about
Not much
these.
to say. High voltage was listed next.
High voltage. This is also another just huge pre-mine coin. This one's SHA. I started mining this one just because I didn't have anything else to mine, I guess. So my miner's been on high voltage for a while, but I don't really have any confidence in it. I'm hoping it turns out to be like another light bar where at least I make a little bit of money on it, even if it's not really a good coin. But we'll see what happens with it, I guess. It's got Supernova's mining it for some reason, so.
Pretty big pre-mine.
Yep. 10%, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of effort there.
Otherwise, it's got good specs for a miner in terms of 30,000 block proof of work is good for kind of a slow and steady type mining operation. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm. Mermaid Coin was listed.
Mermaid Coin. This one kind of has like an interesting distribution method. Did you check it out?
The main thing I noticed was that Supernova was like beautiful announcement. Listed it right away.
He really liked the graphics of the mermaid graphics in the post. This coin goes back and forth. This is Mermaid Coin. It goes back and forth between proof of stake and proof of work. A few times it seems like, and then eventually it goes to full proof of stake.
Super Silk Coin.
But it's got some nice graphics. I think if I was there like really close to the launch, it would have been real nice to get in on the early mining, because then you're set up for the staking for the rest of it essentially. But
sure.
So if you're somebody with like a small amount of Bitcoin and you're looking to, try and work with it, getting those kind of coins like right after they launch, or like right when the difficulty first drops, is often a good way to
definitely
kind of get a safe return, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one, I bet we'll see this one get listed somewhere at least.
Yep, definitely.
It even has a roadmap in bubbles.
Yeah, the roadmap's in bubbles in a nice cursive-y font, I guess.
Next listed was the Ukrainian Kardowanec.
Kardowanec. We're probably butchering the pronunciation, because I bet that's like Cyrillic letters.
Yeah, it's probably not even. I bet that K's. I bet I'm saying that whole thing wrong.
The ticker is KRB, and honestly, this is pretty good as far as the coins this week go. It's
even though their announcement starts with yet another shitcoin, or is that just honesty?
I think that's I think that's I mean, self-awareness, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. The shitcoin developers reaching out and talking to us directly. He went with crypto note, so that's cool. And also no pre-mine, so that's a huge change of pace compared to everything else this week. The last crypto note.
I was really impressed by the lack of ICOs this week. Really refreshed me.
There's a few, but yeah, you're right. Overall, mostly just proof of work pre-mine coins, but not KRB.
No.
So yeah, this would be a good one to mine if you're looking, especially for a CPU, obviously.
Or an experienced kryptonite miner, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of those ones. I mean, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, with BitCedi that came out last week. That was the last kryptonite. So interesting to see two of them coming out in such short succession. But this, again, I think it's probably pretty promising.
Cool.
Next up is Bon. This is a pre-an. It will launch in a couple of days on the 6th. And just also nothing interesting about it, really.
Except put a big circle around the date on your calendar, he says.
Yeah, he's got some funny lines in his announcement, I guess. But otherwise, pretty generic post, I would say.
Yeah. Got a Facebook page, got a Bon Pekao blog. Yeah, I guess we'll see if it launches, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the next step for him.
Digital Bulion Gold.
Digital Bulion Gold is the next coin that was launched this week. This is DBG, and they're kind of going after this asset-backed crypto thing once again.
And once again, it's gold.
Yep.
I get confused by why this would be a popular idea over and over again, honestly. But
there's a one that people are into recently called Crypto Bulion, which I think people just kind of like it because it came out like nobody tried it for like 6 months, and then somebody came out with another Bulion coin. So everyone's like, oh, Crypto Bulion. But now here we are with another one, Digital Bulion Gold. And this one is an IPO.
Oh, okay.
So really just stay
You're just
away,
buying gold from them? So, or that would be the...
that's the premise.
That's the best case scenario?
Yeah, really. What is the IPO? They're claiming that they're going to use the money to create a certificate system that can prove your ownership to some amount of gold. But once again, how do you redeem, how does the exchange of the certificate to the gold actually end up going down?
I don't know. I imagine that there's a whole lot of gold that's exchanged that way, but I don't know the specifics. I don't know how to.
I don't think there's very much gold exchanged with cryptos.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know.
Well, I don't even know the answer to that either.
Yeah, maybe not. Who knows?
I know that there's a lot of websites that allow you to buy actual gold with crypto.
That's true. That's true.
But that's why that seems a lot more. If I was going to invest
But
in
it's with
gold, that would
Bitcoin,
seem a lot more reasonable to
You know,
me.
that's
Yeah,
it's
like,
Bitcoin you're paying with on those.
because then you
probably.
actually have the gold, and you don't have to expect there to be some note like we're talking about or whatever. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, I don't quite understand the concept, but the coin itself has a low supply, 1.5 million. So it the announcement isn't that incredible, but this isn't the worst coin that I've seen for a while, even though it's an ICO. So I'll be interested to see if it does anything, as usual.
So that was digital Bulion gold. Up next this week was Coin. I suspect most of you saw this because it showed up on Yobit.
Before the announcement,
Yep. And
or
then,
before whatever this is, not really much of an announcement.
and then just lit up the sidebar again with hundreds of Bitcoins of daily fake volume. And it was funny because they.
What do you mean by fake volume, Brandon?
Yeah, they didn't even try to pretend it was a serious coin. It's the same as that. You remember Supreme Coin, SPM?
It does seem really similar.
I think it's got to be the same developer. Essentially, when this coin came onto Yobit, the Supreme volume basically dropped to 0. And so it seems like with him suddenly just showing up and turning on the same bot, and it's the same thing. Like there's a joke post that got deleted right away, and then just a weird coin on Yobit with tons of volume. It's obviously just this guy buying and selling to himself, and I don't know why people are buying into this stuff, but it must work.
What did Supreme Coin? I didn't watch that market after. It sort of doesn't interest me, but I wonder if it ever went up or down or just lost volume
just
entirely.
Down, just
Yeah,
down.
just down.
Yep.
That's not very exciting.
No, it's at 10. It Supreme Coin started at 8 Bitcoin per coin.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's now at 10 Satoshi.
Oh, God, that's so silly.
Yeah, it's stupid. So
up next was Flavor Coin.
this is a swap from Flavor Coin 1,
Okay.
which was a pure proof of stake coin. And now they're swapping over and starting a proof of work phase.
Ah, nice.
So that's kind of interesting. It's proof of work, and then it'll go into a high pos. And the theme of the coin is that they're saying it's like for SoundCloud type. They want to promote SoundCloud and Mixcloud type services, but I don't understand.
Oh, shoot. Can we get Blockchain Dynamics on there?
Yeah, so that's where we put our stuff, which is funny, but I can't see how this coin will be useful for us.
No, I don't quite see it yet. But there's no ICO, right?
Nope.
Okay, sweet.
I think there might have been an ICO on the original one. I'm not sure about that.
I like their little background. It almost looks like denim.
Yeah, I got a nice textured background and a diamond for some reason. Doesn't seem really necessary, but...
Huh.
So yeah, it's got a long proof of work.
I'm
long
intrigued.
stake.
I don't know anything about the original Flavor Coin.
Yeah, so this would be fun to watch, I guess. I think it's on Bittrex.
Oh, really?
Maybe not.
Exchanges will follow soon, but maybe they're. I guess we'll wait and see, huh?
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
Not
that.
a lot of info.
Next on the block this week is Gold Blocks.
Oh,
Gold Blocks, in my opinion, probably looks like the money coin of the week.
money coin of the
Money
week. You
coin.
said,
Yeah,
Brandon?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
There's 20 coins that launch this week. One of them's bound to do something.
Yeah,
And,
I guess so. At least in the short term.
This one, it's definitely got the nicest looking post, which isn't always a good sign. And it's got those really fast decreasing rewards. It's already basically
Mined out.
not mined out, but the juicy. The first 10,000 blocks will mine as much as the next 50,000, or so put together.
Uh-huh.
And then you're gonna have stake cutting in there as well.
Okay.
But it's just it's got all the big names. Your Supernova, IPO miner jumped in on this one. Coin miners.
But so this is is this different than... Is their concept of their gold backing different than the other one we just looked at?
Yeah, just another gold back crypto, and no, I do not see any evidence that it's different.
Okay.
So yeah, I wouldn't take the premise too seriously, but in terms of, is this something that you could potentially mine? or potentially buy early and turn around, it's got a pretty good chance, I think.
They sure have a lot of information.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty interesting to try to find any actual. Cool. Yeah. Just a little bit crypto. I like this part where it says you just cannot lose.
You just cannot lose. A lot of people spell lose like that, so I kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's just.
Well,
how
I
they
just
see it.
I didn't even necessarily care about the misspelling. I just mean, I can't.
It's a funny
lose.
tagline.
And they
Anyway.
say you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
lose.
You can't lose. You can't lose. That's not true, obviously.
Yeah.
One of the funny things, it's
Don't.
got this picture of the wallet with the exchange built into it, like one of the oldest. Like,
Oh, yeah.
kind of stupid promises in crypto. You know, I'm sure they might be able to pull it off, but
But there's no ICO, so.
But yeah, there's no ICO, so there's not much to lose, and I'm sure a lot of people got a lot in the early mining, so good for them.
Awesome. Let's see it pump to the moon. Ree Coin.
Next is Ree Coin. This is really just another crappy coin. 6 billion pre-mine,
Oh, nice.
and a generous 2 coin per block for the miners.
Ah, cool.
So only 3 billion blocks to catch up.
Oh,
to the
nice. And
pre-mine.
the coin reward I see ramps up every year.
Yeah, eventually. So in like 50 years, the miners will catch up to the pre-mine.
No way. They never catch up. But in it doubles every year
Okay.
from 2 eventually to 10.
Wow, up to 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ree Coin, pretty stupid.
The people's coin.
Oh, the people's.
Spots.
The next currency is Spots cryptocurrency. This is another
Swap.
coin from I Got Spots, another swap.
From the CIONZ coin.
Chain.
That was like the first coin of the year.
Yeah, was CIONZ a swap too? It seems like he's been
No,
swapping.
that was, I think, I don't remember, honestly.
There've been so many
I can't,
swaps
I
with
can't
these I Got
pretend to remember.
Spots
I just
coins.
remember that it was on New Year's. So yeah, I don't know much about the rate of swap or anything, but it was done on C-Cex.
Yep, it'll be on C-Cex, and I guess if you like Spots coins, then by all means. But
Yeah, it's probably it'll probably follow a similar path.
a similar pattern. Yep, eventually it'll be swapped into something else. I'm sure.
Maybe. If something needs to be done, he seems to do it.
That's what he likes to do. So that's Spots coin for you.
Starka.
Starka is about the 500,000th Minecraft server coin we've seen in the past month. Really
Nice.
weird.
Okay.
Really a weird, like, mini burst of coins with that theme.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there'd need to if I mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. The way that Minecraft is licensed anyway, like
Right.
ever since Microsoft bought it, I'm pretty sure that modifications for it are actually not even legal. And
They're definitely not going to build Starka coin into it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just supposed to be for a server. Like, oh, I'm running my server. You can pay for shit with Starka coin.
Yeah, but I
But
can get
again,
that point.
why
I
wouldn't
do
you
get
just use
that.
Bitcoin? Like,
I do get that.
You know, it's not really offering anything, and it's also the 5th Minecraft coin or something that we've seen in the past month. So, I don't think this one's going to go very far.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Next is Fwee. This was an airdrop coin.
As in the Fwee.
They're Fwee. They're saying it's like an exclamation of happiness or something, I guess.
Oh, cool. I was thinking more like the initial giveaway was free.
Oh, that's, yeah, and a play on the word free. Yeah, that could be
Yeah.
it. It's distributed through, they're calling it an IGO, but it's actually just an airdrop, obviously. I don't know how to sign up for it. I think it's still ongoing, though. I think you just tweet them or something.
Nice. I don't think I'm going to do this one.
No, all these coins this week, there's too many, so, like, I just kind of shut down, you know. I'm mining that one, but, like, you know, I'm not really enthusiastic about any of these, I guess.
Yeah. But this has some mining going on too, like you said, so.
It's got specs that, like, don't really work. Kind of like the original Trump coin had before that swapped. It's got a reward that just drops, like, way too fast. So even though it says the coin cap is unreachable, it essentially the reward will drop down below 1 Satoshi. Essentially is too fast to, you know, ever really reach a significant supply. So it's just going to be
So even if you think we'll see a coin swap if it makes it past that initial point anyway.
yeah, if it makes it that far, they'll have to do a swap or something with it.
Up next was Business Technology Coin.
This is a pointless, huge pre-mine coin. You can probably skip it.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a big total coin supply.
Yeah, stupid. Kubo Coin. This is not a huge, pointless pre-mine coin, but it is kind of a huge, pointless IPO coin.
Oh, okay. Kubo.
They're having something called a petahash ICO. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what a petahash ICO is. I know what a petahash is.
Yeah, I know what a petahash is. I know what an ICO is.
Petahash : ICO power save sale.
I don't know what a petahash ICO is.
Maybe it just means let's do it.
Yeah, I think it just
Like
means please give me some money.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Exchanges, nothing. Okay. I don't see this one launching.
Yeah, you don't think they're going to make it to the launch point? I would believe that.
Launch may be the 6th of June.
Maybe.
We'll let you know, people.
So next on the list is Invictus.
Invictus.
This one had
X11.
another big pre-mine, 25 million coins. I don't see what the total on this is. There's an airdrop of 2 million coins, but the pre-mine is 25 million. And the rest of the stuff is like, you look at these pre-mine things, it's like, oh, we're going to do 6 million for bounties or something. It's like, that's 10 million coins for bounties, which is crazy. Like, how are they going to, that's 5 times what the airdrop is. Obviously they can't get those into the market or whatever. So
No, it's weird.
but it's got Supernova has added it.
Oh, cool.
Everyone seems to be jumping on board with it. But I kind of, again, I'm just tired of these big pre-mine coins. I guess I'm kind of looking for something new.
So we're into pre-mines now. It seems like we went through that like DPoS phase.
Yep, I
Now
agree.
We're in sort of an ICO phase.
And
big
now
pre-mine phase.
Now it's the era of the script coin with a huge pre-mine.
Interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on every day.
Next is Application Coin, APPC. The center of application. And it's another IPO.
Okay.
It's got a graphic. It's got Placebo curiously showing up to escrow it. So I think that's really the most interesting thing for me here. Placebo's kind of he's a guy who's been in the game for a long time. He's been in the C-Cex and Yobit troll boxes a lot. Usually hyping some IPO project or one or the other. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him, in 3 weeks might be hearing about this one in the troll box, and it might get a small pump because of it, but other than that, it just looks the same as all these other coins to me.
You don't see it having actual long-term development, is your guess?
No way.
Just as I know you're not going to hold you to it. But
Nah, not this time.
Roger.
Next is Dice Coin. This is the last coin of the week. And Dice Coin has some kind of funny specs. It has a random difficulty, which I think is funny.
Okay.
And a random...
Every block is totally random?
It
Or is it in a range or something?
It does a time target, but the target is random. So it tries to get between 1 and 6 minutes. So the difficulty can fluctuate between that range, essentially.
Oh, wow. Cool.
But it's also got a huge pre-mine, though, so it's just kind of annoying, I guess. They try to hide these big pre-mines by saying it's only a 1% pre-mine. But then they can just have the POW go for a really long time. And then it becomes a 1% pre-mine on 100 million blocks, which becomes a huge pre-mine, essentially.
Right.
And so that's kind of what they've done here. It would take the pre-mine is 300,000 and the reward is 1 to 6. So it's like 100,000 blocks just to catch up with the pre-mine.
So that's kind of all of the posts between last show and this one.
Yeah, again, not a lot of exciting.
We left a couple out, honestly.
Yeah, there's like too many to cover. It's like too many posts every day, honestly.
And I don't know if the ones that I left out were like worse than some of the ones we covered, but I had to choose some. I just couldn't do them all.
Can't do them all, but
they didn't all seem like they deserved it.
Yeah, well, I'll be surprised if we see any of these other ones show up anywhere.
I'm excited to find out. I mean, Yobit, we'll catch you guys up in a little minute here, but there was a huge spattering of listings. So to say that something's not going to get listed at this point is kind of not. I can't make that bet
I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff can get listed, but is anything else going to happen? You know, there's more
after
to
the listing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a. They don't all get listed though.
that's true. So what to watch this week? Mermaid Coin might be kind of fun to watch. Gold blocks probably.
High voltage maybe.
Nah,
No.
I'm mining it, but I don't think it's any good. Flavor Coin, I think probably would be worth watching. And maybe of all the airdrop ones this week, I would say Fwee.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So yep, that's all the new coins.
I'd avoid the 100% pre-mined ones.
Yeah, seriously. Coin, I would stay away from. So now let's jump into the news and pumps of the week.
Okay, cool.
We're going to start it off with some follow-up to a segment we did last week. We did a talked for a while about whether the increase in the price of Bitcoin, how it affects the price of altcoins in general.
Yes.
With the conventional wisdom being kind of that they drop. And so we wanted to confirm that. What we found last week is that definitely the price, we took a sample, kind of a random sample of 31 different altcoins and tracked their price over the week. And we'd found that while their Bitcoin prices definitely fell almost in every case, the price compared to US dollar stayed fairly flat. And so I wanted to see if in this week, if that kind of trend held together. Bitcoin is up another 11% this week in US dollar value. Last week was up about 15%. And what we found is that actually for in Bitcoin value, 9 coins were up this week of the 31 that we checked out, and 22 were down.
In Bitcoin value?
Yep.
Okay.
So we saw once again a decline, mostly a decline in the Bitcoin value.
Yes.
But in USD market cap value this week, 24 coins up and only 7 down. So we actually saw kind of a surge in a lot of altcoins, which I thought was pretty interesting. Again, once again, that didn't quite keep up with Bitcoin, but they did increase unto themselves, I guess.
Huh.
And so looking at the total, if you go across the total of the 2 weeks, almost every single coin we tracked, it was down. Only 3 coins were up for the 2 weeks.
Over both weeks?
Yep, because it worked out that essentially all the coins that went up the first week ended up going down the second week, or most of them. And so
yeah,
very
that makes sense. I mean, that's pretty much a roll. Which 3 are those?
The ones that went up were Wild Beast Coin, Gambit, and Nautilus.
Oh, weird.
Went up over the 2 weeks.
Interesting selection.
Dogecoin was the same. It was at 41 when I checked it the first time 2 weeks ago, and 41 today when I checked it. So again, almost all the coins down in Bitcoin. But if you go to the USD value, we have 18 coins up and only 13 down.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. So overall, that shows that potentially, at least in USD value, the altcoin markets are still getting dragged up by Bitcoin. It seems a little bit, at least this time. In terms of Coin Market Cap's big list, they had, they keep track of basically everything. They had this week 311 coins up and 225 down. So about 60% of altcoins on their listing ended up being up this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so once again,
that's pretty similar percentage to yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. So this time, at least, it seems like it's safe to say that the Bitcoin prices have been declining, but it's possible that the market caps are still increasing overall.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's interesting.
Yeah, we hope to be able to keep up with kind of...
It'll be cool to see if week after week, if there's ones that, show a really strong trend.
Yeah, I agree.
Wild Beast Bitcoin is one that I'm like super surprised to see it even alive right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just it's had a lot going on actually for a long time. There's just there's
Well,
some money behind it.
I remember it was when it was first listed and the price was good. I was like, dang, I wish I had mined that. Of course,
I remember Chicken Strips. You remember him? He was hyping it for a while. That's kind of how I caught onto it and was like, oh, there's something going on here.
Interesting. Okay. And so, yeah, we'll keep up with the analysis as time moves forward.
Another news this week, DAO and Lisk, of course, trading big. Seems like Lisk has gotten most of the volume. DAO was higher on one day.
Yep, that was it.
But Lisk seems to be attracting a lot of the attention so far.
Yeah. I agree. I haven't been really getting too into it because I'm mostly just doing kind of larger trades rather than little ones at the moment. But how's the Arbot doing?
That's been doing great. Yep, had a good week. Good week from trading in all corners for me this week, so I'm definitely happy about that. There was a funny story this week out of MAID Safe. Did you hear about this?
I saw the headline.
They
I read a little bit about it. About the they're running low on funds.
Yep.
Supposedly
they're running out of funds, and they're apparently, this is what was weird about the story for me. Apparently, when they did the IPO and they made the chain, there was a bunch of extra coins that weren't supposed to be there, and they were supposed to, and so now they're diving into this pool of extra coins to sell to fund the development costs for MAID Safe. So, there's been a lot of huge stuff going on with the Safe network, and I've been generally supportive of it, but I'm a little weary of this move. Obviously, I think a lot of people are though.
But it looked like from our analysis that the market, although it looked down, it wasn't as affected in that U.S. dollar value, right? Yeah,
the market does not seem to have been strongly affected by it, but there's no indication that they've even started selling the coins yet either. So
right, it seemed like it could have just been a market response to the news that they were going to sell the coins. You think?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the market's been fairly stable. It's down a little bit, but again, not
fun one to watch.
With the price of USD up, the overall market cap is still pretty flat on MAID Safe. So we'll see how that news affects it.
Is there? Do you think there's a good spot to buy MAID?
I couldn't even dare to speculate. It's been,
me neither.
It's so much higher than it was that I have no idea.
All right. MINEUM started mining, and the hash rate was very good.
I'm not surprised by that. Another good one, if you're a small-time miner, I think one way to really up your stack, I guess, is to try to target these kind of high-profile mining coin launches. And, maybe just mine a little bit right on the launch, try to be one of the first ones on the pool, let the difficulty spike, and then once it drops and settles in, you can start mining again, essentially. And usually that's a pretty safe time, spot to mine in for a high-profile coin like that.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be fun to see it going forward. I have some trust in that project, but I can't be 100% confident until things start happening. So I'm really excited because I was in on that ICO a little bit.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, yeah, it will be. That'll definitely be one to watch.
Neos
had another huge spike this week. It had been pumping a few weeks ago, and then it had fallen back down. I think it peaked at about 15,000 on the first kind of round of its pump or whatever. Dropped down to about 2,000 until this week, and then it did a one-day spike from like 2,500 Satoshi all the way to 25,000 on Bittrex.
Nice, and I noticed that it was in like one of the biggest drops today. So
was it? Yeah. Now it's right back down. I think it's at like 6 or 7K right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but remember it was at like 300 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and at the beginning of the year it was just much lower. I've talked about Neos before, but it was fun to see. It's fun to see it's still just incredibly volatile.
This news happened just today. Is Novaexchange is back.
Novaexchange, they're back in the game. They were compromised.
They were.
Now they're back.
They did a fundraiser. Maybe it's ongoing. Let me verify that part. I noticed that. Well, let's say it's ongoing. They were all working as a community to get whatever was missing back to people. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And in the meantime, they did what they call, as much diligence as they can as far as auditing code to go back. So I'm not gonna freaking endorse their security, but it's cool to see them back. It's awesome. I think there's already starting to be a little bit of volume there, and they have the Espers market pair, so Dogecoin looks like the most traded one on there right now with Espers.
That's interesting. Really happy to see him sticking it out. I think there's going to be people hesitant to use it for a little bit, and it'll just come down to time for people to get comfortable again.
They certainly have a lot of coins on there. There's probably a lot on here that weren't anywhere else in the meantime.
Yeah, they really do have a huge list. It's funny. I wonder how they went about picking all these.
Well, some of them were just new launches around that time. RoboCoin,
right,
GBU Coin, Charged. I think those might be on Yobit by now, at least some of them, but I'm not sure. But anyway, welcome back. It's going to be cool to see if how this exchange can... I mean, would it not stand to reason that the attacker would immediately try to find out if the security hole was fixed?
Oh yeah, definitely. And so maybe that's a good point. But I think I'm sure they probably got that specific exploit patched out. But
At the very least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm not envious of these exchange operators. It does not sound like an easy job.
Right. Okay.
That's the news this week. Next up is our coin listings. It was kind of a ridiculous week for listings this week.
Yeah, because Yobit started copying and pasting blockchains onto their servers or something.
Yeah, it just never stops with Yobit, it seems like. Poloniex did not list anything as usual. Bittrex did list something this week.
Poloniex is like the club no one can get into.
Yep, everyone
just a
wants
big
to
line,
get in.
just a long
Everyone
line.
wants to get in.
Letting all the hot girls in.
Yeah,
None of the nerds.
All the boys wait at the back.
No. Bittrex, however, who
Bittrex
has been spreading it a little more often than they used to.
They've been giving us a few more coin ads lately. This most recent one is Project Decorum. It's a Safe Network IPO. I'm not sure how long ago it IPO'd. It was.
I do remember it being on the show. However, I remember us talking about it.
Decorum. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But I don't remember when it was either. So it was within the last 15 weeks.
It was within the last 15 weeks. The idea here is
it was show one.
It's a decentralized forum, like a decentralized bulletin board.
Yes.
But it's on Bittrex now. It's had some pretty good volume, pretty good trading action so far. And
you confirmed that the it's not ICO trading right now.
No,
This
it's
is
trading.
market trading.
It's actually just trading.
Cool. Yeah. I'd like to look closer at that and see if there's an actual piece of software behind it or if they're all just token trading right now.
Yeah, me too. I'd be curious as well.
Cryptopia listed BitCedi.
Yep, that was the crypto note we talked about.
Right.
That was launched last week. I really like this listing from Cryptopia, and I'm kind of surprised that there isn't more volume. There's been almost no trading on it, so I guess that's how it goes sometimes, but maybe it'll pick up.
They also listed RateCoin.
That's like an older pump coin that kind of came and went, so surprised to see it there, but...
Oh, remember, I mean, they like Hex said, they just put what people wanted
that's
for
true.
on there.
That's true.
People want to trade it, here it is.
It's probably just, the RateCoin communities out there probably still pushing it, so...
And then there's Yobit.
And then there was Yobit. We can't really talk about each of these, so we're just
Some of these coins we don't know about. Some of them you've heard of before on the show. Some of them you'll never hear about again.
So I'm going to leave it to my man Jukely to fire through this list here.
Beaver Coin, Comet Coin, Unitas, Sunshot, Prism, Martex, Ionomy, GHS Coin, Echo Coin, B2 Coin, Aurora Coin, Ponzi2 Coin, Ponzi2, MMXVI Coin, Go Coin, Euro Coin, Ethereum Script, Emporium Coin, Clud Coin, Global Coin, Lathan, Cabbage Unit, GPU Coin, Coin, Waves ICO presale token, and Power Coin.
Whew, what a ridiculous mouthful there. I mean, what? I can't believe it. Apparently, there's just probably a lot of people coming to him for listings at this point. I feel like that's got to be just part of it, but really, really carried away this week. Really hard to even keep up with how many of these are trading, but
Right.
The Waves ICO is definitely a standout one. That was pretty funny. They did a pre-sale, or they did the same thing with Lisk, right?
Same story.
They had this pre-Lisk token, or this pre-Waves token, offered it up for sale. There was a ridiculous, huge volume and price pump, and then it got weird.
Yeah, the Waves people definitely posted. I think the Lisk people did as well, but the Waves people said, don't trade there. And I don't know if that was related or not to what happened next, but we saw Yobit reset the market and ask people to sell into walls. Like,
I think they were supposed to. Yeah, I wasn't sure if how exactly they were supposed to get out, but it seemed like they were trying to reverse it.
It said they had to sell into some walls, and then they were going to reset the market after that certain time. So I guess if you didn't sell into the wall before then
you probably
kind of knew that the price was going to be lower when it reset.
And yeah, it ended up dropping from like I think it was at 0.09 at the peak, and then you don't even see it on the chart because it all got reset. But it was at like 0.09, and now it's at 100.001. So we'll see how that tracks once everyone else starts trading waves. We'll see if it turns out to be like Lisk, where they can actually make the transition, or it's hard to say just what's going on there. It was a strange listing this week.
Besides that, man, geez Louise, I don't even know.
Yeah, there was a lot of volume on something called Cabbage Unit, which is a really funny name for a coin, Cabbage Unit. But it's been out for a while. I checked into the Twitter. He's been tweeting for a long time, a few months at least, and I'm not really sure what the point of it is, but they're faking a ton of volume, so I'm curious what the deal with that is. But otherwise, not a lot of standouts for me on this Yobit mega list.
No, I mean, geez Louise, it's just amazing.
Power Coin was an interesting one. That one was I think it came out last week. It was one of those airdrops that got claimed super fast. And then it's gotten a little pump this week, so that would have been a nice one to get in on.
GPU and GHS.
Yeah, a lot of acronym coins.
Man.
Funny.
And last but not least at all,
C-Cex. Often overlooked, but they're still out there.
Oh, yeah, doing fine, I think. Because of everybody's doing fine now that EDRC is trading.
Yeah, all these small exchanges have been getting just hundreds of Bitcoin volume. We laughed because we saw on Cryptopia today that EDR Coin has 660 Bitcoins of volume, fake volume, obviously, on Cryptopia, which is hilarious because that's probably...
Some of it has to be real, right, at that point. Like, there's no way that it's all fake.
I mean, I'm sure occasionally other people buy in. They must.
It has to happen. I can't
Otherwise,
understand.
they wouldn't be... they'd be losing too much money.
They have it going across C-Cex, Yobit,
Yep.
Cryptopia. Is that it right now?
C-Cex, Yobit, Cryptopia.
Was there anywhere else that EDRC is?
I can't think of any others off the top of my head. I wonder if it is on any other exchanges. But
it is weird that they've been able to sustain such a high volume across those exchanges without a lot of...
It's not even real. It's not... I don't want to say it's not a real coin, but it's not normal.
Right, it's not a normal coin.
It's owned. It's just, a lot of self-trading.
Amazing. Anyway, back to the listings on C-Cex.
Prism. That was listed on Yobit too. That was an ICO from March. Maybe it's launching. The thread is closed and the website is down, so I have no freaking clue how to tell, but it got listed. So.
Oh, okay. So there may or may not be a blockchain backing this listing.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Newbium. This is an ICO. The theme is that it is like trading tools for newer traders. But it's obviously not done. It's just
like a screwdriver?
The ICO is already done, I think. They're just trading the token now.
All right.
They added BritCoin. That was like an older takeover coin. They added Uther.
Ah, man, yeah. I remember this. I knew this one would come eventually.
Yep. So Ethereum clone could be an interesting one to watch of all these crazy.
I noticed
listings.
the price is pretty low. Is it like statistically the same as Ethereum, I wonder? Same number of coins and stuff?
I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Well,
they added it.
I'm going to have to watch for it.
And they did Spots Coin as well, the
right.
Spot Swap. So.
Yep, Spot Swap.
There you have the C-Cex listings.
And we're just going to skip right over the birthdays because there wasn't any I could find worth mentioning.
Yep. Coin birthdays.
If I was wrong, let me know. I don't see them.
Yeah, if your coin had a 1 or 2 year birthday this year that we didn't, or in any of these shows that we missed out.
Sure, yeah, any of them.
Yeah, hit us up and we'll give you a shout out. We love talking about the birthday coins, but we didn't have any this week. And that pretty much is going to wrap it up for us on show number 15.
That's right, show number 15. And what day is it? Yeah, June 4th, 2016. Beautiful Bozeman, Montana, Air by Trial Studios.
My name is Brandon Doge.
And I'm Jukely.
And be sure to check out fairmat.org.
Yes.
Currency